Hi guys, let's have a look what we have in our facility this week. One of the cars, Ferrari 488, that came for the advanced service, paint correction, some wet sanding and full paint protection film. Next we have the A35 AMG, stunning Merc that came for the new car protection, which includes the paint protection film, ceramic coating. We also have Maciej, who is based in Coventry. He is owner of the CCC Detailing. Came to us for the advanced paint protection film training. So Max is explaining the installation of the film. Then we have the stunning Porsche 997, which came to us for the annual maintenance detailing. And the car is starting to look absolutely perfect, just as good as it looked when we worked on it last year. One of the other services, the Golf R that we worked on previously, visited us for the annual maintenance detailing. And finally, we have the Porsche, which has been featured before. The car came back from the body shop after some rectification work. So we're going to do a little bit of the inspection, report back to the customer, and we'll get going with all the works. So one of the very important points to note is that the paint protection film can be installed not only on exterior, but also on the interior of the car. So as part of the new vehicle preparation here at Konings, we always add few extra bits to our customers. So this customer decided that he would like to get the extra bits of the paint protection film installed to the surrounding area of the central console, which is the piano black, and obviously very easy surface to scratch, especially when you rest your keys or your phone. So basically this is the exact shape and size of the film. We're going to install it to the central console. Let's have a look how it's done. So the first thing first, we have to prepare the surface, just the same way we do with the paint work. And over here we have the piece of the film. I have the different squeegees just to get to these small intricate areas. And obviously the smallest one, you can see the tiny little squeegee there. So basically it's cut from the bigger squeegee so we can get access to all the small areas. So the few things to be conscious of is to make sure you don't use too much of the solution, and when you remove the solution you have to squeegee outside of the central console so there is no risk of the water ingress. Another thing is I often use the small amount of the alcohol just to lock the film slightly away of the edge of the trim. So basically you don't end up with the film that is installed too close to the trim, which creates the risk of the lifting over the time. So that's pretty much how you would install the paint protection film to the inside. The beauty of it is now it's fully protected. You can rest your keys, you can rest your phone. Obviously all this can create a pretty big risk of scratching the surface, especially around the central console. We can apply the paint protection film to entire piano black section, to the screens, even to the steering wheel. So you can go actually pretty far with the protecting the interior of the car.
Hi guys, it's Max, Konings Detailing. I'm just here with our good friend Maciej, and we're learning how to install the paint protection film onto the wing mirrors. So it's a piano black wing mirror on this brand new A35, and the thing is with black surfaces, it shows all the marks, whether that's solution, stretch marks, silvering. So it's really important, one, how to identify them, and then how to rectify them. So we're just going through it now on this two-piece mirror. So it has a lower piece and a top piece, and they join together. So it's really important to get the join as tight as possible so it's seamless. So when the customer comes and looks, it doesn't look like it's two pieces, it's like it's one complete piece, the join's perfect, and it's a really nice install. We spray the solution again, we'll give it one last wipe with the squeegee just to reveal if there's any contamination, any hair or anything that's left on the surface. There's nothing, it's all good. So we spray the surface with the solution. We get this piece again, get the adhesive all nice and wet, marry it onto the surface. So now we know, because we've aligned this perfectly, our point of interest and reference at the front will be accurate, yeah? There will be an element of stretch, as you can see there. If I line that up there now, there's probably ½ an inch worth of material left, and that's going to have to be stretched. Again, I'm always checking reference point there, reference point there, yeah? Again, we have to act really quickly because now I'm stretching this area and I don't want to leave any of the mark. You can see now the join is seamless. If you run your finger over it, you can't feel it. These areas, the film is still floating, which means I can push it further down. And if I run my finger along, I can make that join absolutely invisible. You see that, yeah?
Yes.
But if I'd sprayed alcohol everywhere, this would now tack and I couldn't move it. So it's really important that before I squeegee, the film still floats and still moves, yeah? So now, I'm gonna float the film down to that edge. I've sprayed a bit of alcohol. I marry it up with my thumb, so it's perfect. And then I squeegee the solution out. It's still floating, so I need a bit more alcohol. And then we need to act quickly because the film is now biting. Hold it there, 5–10 seconds, a bit of squeege. And the idea is, yeah, you run your finger over that, you try. You shouldn't be able to feel it, yeah? Yeah? If you feel it, it needs to be tighter. So now we can squeegee the surrounding solution. As I said, if I now squeegee back where I've locked it, it's going to create the marks. So I always go where there's no alcohol. Now we can see we're quite far off this edge here. So I spray the solution inside, warm up the material again. That's my reference point. Stretch it up to the top there, yeah? Now, we need to act quickly so we don't create the marks. So I spray the alcohol again. I marry this a bit closer this time. Why I'm struggling here now is because that is slightly overstretched up like that, which means the pattern isn't fitting properly, but you can still make it fit. Some areas like this, where there's that white edge, that's basically where it's got dry. Sometimes you can try and push new solution through it. These are just tiny bits of solution that will dry. But now we'd wipe it off, inspect it. So, looking at it, the joint's lovely, yeah?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Maybe a little bit tighter there. Maybe I would prefer it to be 1/2 mil tighter here, but for the training exercise, not bad.
So obviously over here you can see the process of adjusting the film. So in this instance we're using the Expel design program, but we do have access to other design programs. And obviously during the training it's not only, we're not only explaining how to install the film, what to look for, but also how to design the pattern, adjust it in a system, and what to look for when you plot the film. Then we will see how Maciej can install the mirror on the car. So Maciej had a chance to see how I installed the right-hand side mirror and how Max installed the left-hand side, which he explained step by step. So that gave Maciej a good idea how two different people install the same mirror, and now he's trying to install it himself, which so far he did it a couple times really well, and now he's trying to improve the technique, seeing what we've done, me and Max. So yeah, everything is going really good. Another thing very important to mention is that during our training we really explain what to look for, where are the biggest issues during the installation, how to do the final trimming. So what we mean by trimming, if someone says they don't use the knife on the car, they're just lying. Everyone in the industry is using the knife. Where we don't use the knife is to cut all around the panels, but you always have to trim the excess of the film, which is, for example, wrapped underneath or inside the wheel arches. But there is a special technique how to do it so you don't cut the paint. Let me show you how it's done. We are going to cut it on the bonnet so you can see we don't cut the paint. I'm going to cut a small piece of the film, and we will cut it on the Porsche, which doesn't have the PPF, so you can actually see we won't go through the paint. That's how confident I am that we won't score through the paint. Small piece of the film, we put it on the car, we found a solution, and we'll just try to score it nicely. And I'm going to leave the film now, which you can see is not cut, but it's scored. So when we pull it, it just separates itself. Hopefully that gives you an idea. But when we cut the film, let me show you. Let's assume this is the installed PPF and we have the excess of the film. So what we say by trimming, we basically trim it like that, excess of the film, and wrap it inside. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the trimming. So we don't cut the shape of the panel against the panel, we always cut the film hanging off the panel. Hopefully that gives you a bit of idea.
Think you can flame me, think you can break me, but baby I don't have the time, no, 'cause once you hurt me, I'll try and fool me.
What I would try at the beginning when you're new to it, try to install it probably 1.5 mil off the edge. Okay. And as you progress with the skills, go closer and closer. If you go too close to the edge, you can end up with the film overhanging, and then over the time it will just start lifting. So there's a really good compromise between the film that is installed too close to the edge and too far off the edge. So Maciej been already installing film for over a year now, and just come to us for a slightly more advanced training just to understand the better way of installation of the film and benefit from our experience. We are not saying we're the best, we're just saying we are slightly more experienced than some of you guys who are really looking to improve their skills. If it's the bulk installation from one big piece of the film, or if it's just the alignment or understanding the problems you may occur during the installation.